Welcome back to Changing Latitudes. As you just saw in the video, that was quite the building. You know, we used to call it the Love Shack because we couldn't figure out what you would use that for. Ultimately, it was just like I said in the prior video, a single room, drywall, mirrors, a stove, everything you would want to sit in and camp. So you can almost like think of it as back in the 50s and 60s, possibly even a hunting cabin. But you know, you don't know what it was. Ultimately, it was surrounded by, for whatever reason, plywood. And it would have been nice if they had actually just left the wood out and kept it and taken care of it. But hey, you know, at the end of the day, we took down the building and took out the Doug fir out of it. This video is the second one of 3. And we're going to get into the milling process of the wood. We're going to use a joiner. We're going to have a planer, the table saw, chop saw. I don't know if I did so much of a video of that. Then we also have our cuts into the footing using the bandsaw. So it's a lot of the milling of the wood, sanding, getting it all ready to go for the joinery process. So I will focus on that in this video. The third video will focus on getting the wood glued together and getting it into its form that is the table that's here in front of me. So with that, let's jump out to the shop. Incredibly excited to bring this tool to life here. We just bought this joiner, 12-inch Grizzly joiner, and we paid for the guy to come out and set us up electrically, got ourselves our vacuum system all set up, ready to go. We've tested some things. You can see a little bit of some sawdust here put on it. But we really haven't done any manufacturing. It's the first real run of this. So can't wait to get into it. It is going to be somewhat of an anxious process. Of course, new tools and what have you. And to be honest with you, with that thing spinning like it does, you should be a little bit anxious. So you got to be a little bit protected. You got to be still confident, because lack of confidence in working with heavy equipment would be a terrible outcome. One of the things that we're going to do here that may be a little bit different than what we've seen from others is we are going to mill 2 sides of this and then run it through the planer. You don't 3-side it, you don't 4-side it through the joiner. What you do is you mill an edge and you mill face, and then you use your table saw and your planer to clean it up. That's the best way to do it. That's what's going to truly get you those parallel lines that you're looking for, or should I say straightness. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start getting to work. With everything jointed, now it's on to planing these boards. We're working on the tabletop first, getting all the boards to be exactly the same before moving on to any other pieces and convoluting the question. So what we're going to just do here is obviously start off with the thickest piece and then work our way down. With 3 sides milled of our boards, we're going to go ahead and take care of the 4th side here, running it through the table saw to get to our common width, which in this particular case is going to be 5 1/8. I'll come back and tighten them up because I only need these 5 boards to measure out to a complete width of 2 feet. But at this moment, I'm going to go ahead and mill it down to the 5 1/8, put it off to the side, and continue working with the other pieces to get them all jointed and planed. Okay, with the tabletop pieces completed and the milling of 3 sides of the balance of the pieces that'll make up, of course, the skirt, the legs, and the base, I'm going to go ahead and do some cutting down of the skirt at this moment. Get it down to about 4 inches. I'll probably come back and cut the skirt down to its final size later on. So let's go to the cut. Okay, it's time to set ourselves up for the footwork that's going to need to be done. I'm building a template out of this OSB to make sure that I have a nice solid circle for every single time I go to put that onto the foot. I got 2 pieces, of course, 4 ends that I'm going to want the exact same design to the foot. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and rip this down to the exact 3 11/16, and then I'm going to go ahead and set myself up for some good circle. Okay, I got a simple little design here that I'm going to go ahead and put some relief cuts into it first, and of course finish it out with a nice cut using the bandsaw. This template's going to be the base, of course, of the foot, and I'll just keep repeating it on the four sides. Pattern drawn onto the workpiece, or the foot of the table, I'm going to go ahead and now do some relief cuts onto it on this bandsaw, and then move over to the smaller one that allows to get a better defined cut on it. Well, as you saw in that video, quite a bit of milling going on, getting that board from that rough to nice, refined, ready to go, ready to work with product. There's quite a bit of waste in anything that is woodworking, and this was no exception. From the rock cutouts to just simply getting things milled up and cleaned up, you're losing probably good 30 to 40% of the wood when you're dealing with reclamation, which is even more in excess of what you would be losing if you were doing it from a store-bought situation. So there's quite a bit of, even though you're trying to keep as much as possible, the good news for us was most of that wood was just put into the stove so that we can, use it as starter. So as I bring this episode to its finality, just wanted to point out that the third video will bring this all together, and we will have the table in its final form at the end of that episode. So stick with us. Third episode's on its way. Thank you for watching to the end.